So you're trying to figure out what your purpose is and you don't know where you to go. Sometimes you might feel like you're lost, trying to figure out where to go, what to do. It feels like to this point that someone may have made the wrong decisions, picked the wrong career path, partnered up with the wrong business people, tried to explore certain things, and you got stuck in a rut now. You're back up against the wall, feeling just confused. Where do I go now? What am I supposed to be doing? Did I make the right calls? These are a lot of things that go through your head when people first try to figure out what their purpose is. It's the after effects of making wrong decisions or feeling like there's some type of boredom or some type of anxiety, some type of overwhelm. I personally felt that way myself. I've been in healthcare for 17 years, got sucked into, I don't want to say get sucked into, but like I had this urge and this calling to actually go into business and go build something for myself. So I actually started partnering up with people, and some of these deals didn't work out. As we started growing businesses, I see how people see the numbers. They're loyal to the numbers, not loyal to the team, and they become greedy, start trying to take majority of the shares in the company, stuff like that. And so it's leading me personally into this situation now where is this what I want to do in business? Is this my purpose, to get shafted or to shaft other people? Like, it's not a good thing at all. And so when it comes to finding your purpose, I think it comes back to knowing what's the end goal. Because the end goal for me and finding my purpose is finding something I can do for a really long time, be able to enjoy it, and it gives me the freedom, and it sustains my life by giving me an income, and just having that overall holistic approach to being a great person for one, and also living a life that's fulfilling and where I could spend as much time with my family and my friends and travel the world and do the things I love to do and be able to have time for my hobbies. But right now it seems like there's not. And it's rough because going through this process to find what the true purpose is, it's a situation where you fuck around and find out. Test a little bit here, test a little bit there. And then you decide, okay, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. These type of people I should be hanging out with, these type of people I should be avoiding. And so after a while, you just learn, okay, this is what I really want. For me, personally, I came to the decision that I need to build a solo business with no business partners in it, because I've done the corporate life, became a high-level manager, or mid-level manager, I should say, ran a large team that was no longer fulfilling, stepped down when a lot of my personal life started crumbling. And then I tried entrepreneurship and doing it with partnerships, because the fastest way to scale is actually have partnerships, because you don't want to have all these roles into like just yourself. If you start a business and you have partners, you got to divvy up the work and make sure everyone's accountable. Now, the thing is, when it becomes successful or it doesn't work, when it becomes successful, you start seeing people's true natures, how they start trying to take a lot of the credit, trying to take a lot of the revenue, trying to take a lot of the market share. And if it goes bad, a lot of people start playing the blame game. And this is not something that's very good for business. And so after experiencing all these things, I came to the decision, like, what do I want to do? And it's really just me sharing the experiences I've gone through to help other guys out to not make the same mistakes I've done. I'm 40 years old and I look like I'm 25. And trust me, I lived the life of a 40-year-old, maybe even older. Left home at 16, went the corporate route, got my bachelor's degrees, got my master's degrees. I've gone to jail, got out of jail, decided to go back to school, level back up, left the corporate job, built businesses. And now where am I at 40 years old? I'm starting fresh again. And so finding your purpose right now, or finding my purpose at the moment, is really just, how do I want to live in the end game? I'm starting the second half. Social Security is not going to last till 2032. Neither is Medicare, Medi-Cal. All these government programs are being set up so that the system crumbles and everyone has to go back to work. On top of that, like the 401k, it's a farce. The 401k is a supplement to what it was supposed to be. So back in the 80s, when the 401k came out, it was supposed to be a supplement to pensions, an addition. But because a lot of corporations took away pensions, 401k became the primary. And the thing is, when you run the numbers, doing a 401k is not enough. Why do you think a lot of the senior citizens go back to work? They end up being like Walmart greeters or Target or working in there's other jobs. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's great to be productive no matter what age. It's just in a situation where I've had these conversations where people weren't expecting to go back to work at their retirement age. And so it's like, how do you want to live? And right now, I'm at 40 years old. I'm at a crossroads. I have businesses and I'm not satisfied with those. I'm not finding joy in the businesses that we're running. And so what's the best thing to do for me? I know I could create systems really fast. I know how to execute and I know how to speak really well, relatively. And I know how to talk to people and read their psychology. So it sets me up for a good thing to go into sales. But I'm not trying to be a salesman. I think it's better that I just share my experiences and tell people, hey, watch out for these things. Watch out for these landmines, or look at certain situations in a different way. And this is how you can do it. When it comes to finding your purpose, you have to figure out what your end game is. Reverse engineer it. Start with the end in mind. Because if you don't, you might end up like me, where you probably put yourself in a situation where you're left to just go with the flow. And it's good to go with the flow and get in a flow state and just march on and find the happiness through there. But sometimes when you make a decision, a little bit rash, it doesn't work out. But that's the nature of the game. When you're going through your purpose, it's going to be messy. It's not going to work out exactly like you have. Everyone thinks business and life just goes in the linear trend, and it doesn't do that. Life goes like this, and it goes at different speeds, and it rotates. It's like a person on ecstasy with glow sticks at a rave. But you don't know what they're gonna do, and they're just giving you a light show, and it's just holy crap. What your purpose is gonna be messy because it's something you're always gonna want to do. You can't stop thinking about it. You go to sleep, you wake up, you eat, you talk about it, you're watching videos about it, and it just doesn't end. And that's the situation where I'm at right now, just being able to have the conversations and talk to people and just be upfront and tell people what's going on. Now, when it comes to the messiness, it could be messy. It could also be bad timing. You just never know what it is. And so like for my situations, it came a little bit of both. Because when it's messy, you're gonna have people that are gonna hate on you. They don't think it's gonna be sustainable. They think they know better, and they may not know better. They don't know what's best for you. And at the end of the day, you gotta know what's best for you. You gotta just go with the whispers you hear in your head. Or sometimes it might be a loud shout. Go this route, fool. Or it could be like you face plant so hard that you have to make a pivot. And so sometimes you stumble on it. You never know. But being messy, that's the beauty of life, because when you look back at it, you're like, ah, shit, I remember this time when this happened and I was pulling out my hair. And then a couple of years later, you're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. I can handle that. The messiness of life falls into your purpose, because really what it is, when you jump into something brand new, it's full of entropy. And if you don't know what entropy is, it's just chaos. And there's a natural order to the world to have chaos. But then from the chaos, you can build systems. And that's where the messiness comes to play. Because when you're jumping in, you don't know what's going on. And you have to create a system that is fulfilling for you on a mental, psychological, physical aspect, give you the time freedom to do what you want after it. But also it's monetizable, and you can create money from it so you could actually sustain and take care of yourself. Now, people confuse purpose with passion. I think passion is a part of purpose. It's only one part of it. I also think people are purpose. They don't necessarily have a purpose. I think people are born with a inner knowingness of what they're supposed to do in life. That's why you have certain skills, you have certain qualities, you have certain attributes that make you really great. Whether you're physically active and you could dunk a ball like LeBron James, he was built to be a basketball player, right? Same with Kobe or Jordan, right? Mentally, they were built to be like that. They had a physicality that they wanted to explore. They picked a game that they really liked, and they never gave up. So they had the mindset and the grit to actually be successful. When you become successful in one thing, it's easy to become successful in another thing. Now, That doesn't mean that if you're an expert in one thing, you're naturally an expert in another thing. You have to take the time to build up and learn and grow with it and be able to see what the focus and the direction is. When it comes to purpose, it's all about direction, because you got to know what you want to serve, what you want to help out, what you want to grow, what you want to build. I think what's cool about the situation of knowing your purpose is that you know what you're made to do. How many times have you heard when someone says, you were born to do this, or you're fearless in this situation? You could do this in your sleep. Don't worry about it. Don't hesitate. I've had that for having conversations with people. Even though I'm a natural introvert, I heard that with presentations and being a salesman and being able to rally up my teams. It's important to be passionate in your purpose, because that passion will exude. It'll show up when you're on camera, whether you're talking to someone one-on-one and trying to inspire them, when you're trying to motivate your team and pick them off the ground. Passion is the emotion that helps fuel the purpose. And I think that's a beautiful thing. It's really good, but your purpose comes first. And if sometimes passion isn't where your purpose is, you have to follow your purpose. And then as you turn it into a game and have fun with it, you have passion for it. A lot of people I learned from that are been in careers a really long time, they didn't really like their job. They were good at their job, and then they learned to love their job. And that's what's really cool about it. That's where the passion comes in. When you do it so well that you take pride and ownership and accountability of what you're doing at hand. Purpose requires presence. You can't be dwelling on the past, what you could do in the past. You can't be worried about what you could do in the future and be anxious about it. But purpose requires presence, because if you're present with your purpose, you will always execute, you will always deliver, and you will always be able to accomplish what you need to. Now, finding your purpose takes many steps. You test a lot of things out. You listen to the whispers in your head. You figure out what you're good at, what you're not good at. You talk to people who know you better than you. But the problem is, when you find your purpose, it's hard to take action on it sometimes. For me, being a speaker and being able to talk to people and talk in front of a camera and talk in public, it's no easy feat. Public speaking is the number one fear that all people have. It's worse than death. And so for me, it took 10, 15 years to actually be comfortable with talking on camera. But I think it's important for me that the purpose is not to be on camera and not to be on YouTube. The purpose for me is to help inspire and motivate a million men to become the best fathers, the best sons, the best brothers, the best colleagues, and the best friends they could be. It's important for me that my purpose to inspire a million men, because my brother passed away in 2019, self-inflicted on Father's Day. And so if I could just speak and just tell the story, then maybe I could help a million men in the world see the value in themselves, inspiring themselves to go change what they want and be able to go after everything they want in life and live a fulfilling, happy, joyous life. So with that, I'll check you later. Be easy.